Yep, it's been recording. Is go ahead and get the 15-foot chains, and then it'll eliminate like all of this. But
Okay.
Until then, let's go ahead and go through this process. And the other question I've got for you is, so one note here is like this frame, right, is larger than 4x8, right? It's got a 4-inch and 4-inch gap in it. So something that I always have to remind myself, and I do it with little notches like this is the actual bottom right corner of my frame here. It's not the bottom of this sheet right here. Same goes for the top sides as well. So like you can see, right, I've got a little line notched right here. This is essentially the top of my work surface, right? So I don't measure to here, I measure to there. Right. So just something else. Right. I think you're probably aware of that, but just something else to keep in mind.
Yeah, I put the frame around the top and the top, bottom, and sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my plywood sheet on top of that bottom frame, just to hold it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try and figure out where the center is, and then measure out and put shims in to bring everything up to where it's supposed to be. It's
Gotcha.
a process.
Yeah, for sure it is. Shoot, there was something else I was going to tell you about it as well. Oh yeah. So, and then in terms of like when you're doing your edge calibration, you're confident or comfortable with the difference in terms of like it being, whether to put like positive 1/4 of an inch or negative 1/4 of an inch, right? Like it's counterintuitive, right? If you go over the line, it's negative. If you're under the line, it's positive.
Yep, I got that. I read through it a couple times. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's because you're wanting to move it back to where it's back to zero. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. It's so good. He's a good boy. Okay, well, yeah. So if you go through those things, I think you should be able to resolve it. But yeah, I would just check and make sure your stock measurements are exactly right. But overall, I would assume this could probably get you there. And if it doesn't, one of those other steps should not guaranteed, but should get you there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I was at that I was off. Because and actually I took the chain all the way to the top and made sure that it was in the center at that point, and then brought it back down. Making sure that everything was the same, then took my measurements. So
okay, all right, well, yeah, it sounds like you've done all the right steps. Is there anything there that I showed you that you're like, oh yeah, that could be it, or have you essentially gone through all that and you're like,
Well, I went through the first time, and I was like, I know I have a measurement off, I just don't know where that measurement is, so that I can get this right. And you have helped me out with that.
Okay, good. Yeah, like I said, it's not always super critical. This measurement, top measurement, bottom measurement, not so, I've found, at least in my experience, not as critical. But if your top measurement isn't really close to spot on, you are more susceptible to some form of bowing of the motion between the ends and the center. If you're off by a little bit on the bottom, it's really not as bad. And I think that's just simply because when the machine is up here, like the chains are essentially horizontal, right? So any amount of slop there causes an enormous amount of there's a lot of tension in that, right? Versus down here, it's just lax. It's really easy going. So it's not going to be as big of a deal. So you are kind of on that cusp where I'm like, yeah, I would probably, to your point, go ahead and just try and really get it honed in.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool.
Well, thank you so very much. I got to get back to work, but it was really nice chatting with you.
Yeah, you too, Jesse. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Mike, is that you on there too?
Yes, sir.
How's it going, man?
Good. Just cooking a little lunch right now. Starving.
Oh, yeah, same. I've been subsisting in the office today on some cheese crackers. So I probably need to go grab something. If nobody else jumps on, I might go grab something here in a little bit.
Yeah, you can go. Actually, you can go, and I can go get something to eat, and I can stay on here. I'm on here.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll stick around for a little bit, see if anybody joins early. I'm not dying yet. But everything good on your end, dude?
Yeah, everything's good on my end. I was with Drew earlier with both Drews.
Okay.
Both of my printers weren't working, but he got me going. So at least one of them's going, and so the other one I got to do a little tweaking myself. But it's going.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Have you had any luck with any of the like the sales side, the affiliate side?
Nope, I've called and people don't answer. A lot of people. That's another thing I was gonna get with you is I need some kind of number, I guess, because people don't answer like non-restricted numbers. You know?
Yeah, that's the problem these days, right? I think you're right. I think
it's a big thing because I don't answer restricted numbers either. You know?
I don't either. Yeah, exactly.
You know, unless they leave a message. They leave a message, and I know. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, maybe we do. I mean, I'd be fine with that. I mean, if there's an easy way to get you a number that's like a MakerMade only, so you're not giving out your like personal line, right?
A number, or something where there's not a way where they can go with the number that they have right now and like you know, and they can press the number that they want to and it can ring to my phone, or it can also when I call out, it comes out with that number, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I need to talk to Matt about the options here because
what software or who are y'all using?
Which
for phone
software? For like phone service?
Yeah, is it like a software? Is it like is it a direct landline?
It's just I think it's I don't know. I'll have to ask Matt. I really don't know. I know we've just now set up like a better voicemail setup for it, so it's like actually got options now. But otherwise, I don't know.
Where it could be like press 1 for this, press 2 for sales, press 3 for customer service. You know, and it'll go to my phone or Joel's phone or you know whoever it is. You know.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me get with Matt on that because again, I'm just not totally sure where we stand, and it's one of those things. I feel like we're like, oh, it'll be like $40 a month or something, and it's like, especially coming into the holidays, like it's just worth it to get something like that going.
Yeah, for customer service and not especially for sales, that's the main thing is sales, Patrick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sales is the main thing. Of course, customer support as well, but sales is the main thing. And if we're gonna be doing call outs, you know, we want people to answer their calls. And then I leave messages all the time, though. I learn to leave messages, you know, and I'll leave it my email address on there because I can't be like, well, call me back to this number. I'm like, I tell them, go ahead and send me an email to mike@makermade.com. You know?
Yeah.
But I kind of want a number so I can be like, well, go ahead and call me back to area code, whatever, you know, and press 2 for customer service, you know, or 2 for whatever, you know.
Is there a time like what if we did like a brief advertisement like for 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, and said, hey, Mike@MakerMade.com is going to give an overview of the M2 and all the advantages of it for people who are considering purchasing, right? Like, is there a time or a date and then you just take this Zoom, right? And then you just run however many people would show up to it through their paces and give out your discount code and make some sales that way. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds something we can set up. I can set up, okay. Definitely.
Yeah, I think if you give me some like weekday or weekend, doesn't matter, whatever date time works for you. I would say ideally for folks it would probably be in the evenings, but if you have a date like that would work, we could advertise that on the main Facebook page and on our Instagram and different places and see how it works. I'd be really curious.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, let's see.
Like a really good idea.
I'm also so October 6th, FYI, is the date I want to do the business summit.
October 6th?
October 6th.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. Let me write that down.
Let me.
Have
all
we
right.
said anything? Have we advertised anything about that?
Not yet. I'm waiting on. I created some graphics assets for it, but I'm waiting on approval from Sarah and the marketing team. But let's see. Sales. What was in here? Paper chat. Let's see.
Have you all heard of Grimco?
What is it?
Grimco?
Nope.
Grimco, Grimo, or GRI. Hold on. How do you spell it? Grimco. It's very easy to spell. Hold on. Make sure I spell it. Grimco.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a lot of it's a good business. It's actually all over the United States.
Yeah.
And they have nothing but sign making stuff. Like stuff to make signs. And they also have like 3 CNC machines there that they sell, but they're expensive. I was thinking maybe talking to Drew, maybe we can find who's in charge of that and maybe get an account with them. And maybe we can put, our website. Check it out, grimco.com. And you can only be a business owner. You can only have a business account to actually get with them.
How do you spell that?
Grimco, GRIMCO.
Grimco.com.
Yeah, and they're the one that sell the AC, the aluminum panels. They sell a lot of stuff.
Is it Grimco with an M as in Mary or N as in Nancy?
M as in Mary.
Okay, good.
Grimco.
Grimco. Yeah. Nationwide wholesale sign and media company. Founded in 1875. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I've been dealing with them for a while. So, and then I saw on there's a spot where I saw CNC routers. It's like, what? And they have like 3 of them, but they're expensive ones.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Marketing teams.
So where'd you get the dog at?
A shelter.
A shelter.
Yeah, he's a shelter golden. Like, what in the world? He's just the best little guy. I mean, look at this dude. He's just chilling. Right, Barry? Sweet Barry? Good boy. Yeah. So we got him on Monday.
I got these big monsters right here with me.
Let's see. Oh.
They're getting big, man. They're getting big.
Oh yeah, they are.
Say hi.
Oh,
Hey, sit, cat, sit. Sit. Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5. She wants to give me 5.
I'll give you 5.
Yeah, let's sit. Sit, babe. Sit. Give me 5. Good girl. Jump. Jump. Ready? Jump. Good girl.
Oh,
Good
good
girl.
job.
I just had to run home because our dogs just got out, and they don't go anywhere. They run to the front door. They freak out once they realize they're locked out, and they run to the front door. The neighbors call. They're like, "Your dogs are all clawing at your front door." And so I was like, "Oh crap!" They decided to take off. How's y'all's week going?
Yeah, not too bad. Can't complain. Drew, you didn't see it. I was just sharing. We just adopted a little golden.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, his name's Barry. So he's a good boy.
They're amazing dogs.
They are. They really
I
are.
think
So sweet.
having an office dog is like it makes such a difference in the world, and like it really does. Like I think I usually have my office with me every day, but today I was running around, so I left it at the house. Yeah, everybody loves bringing their pets because it just makes for a
How
better.
is he inside with the restroom, Patrick?
Do what?
How is he? Is he potty trained?
Yeah, he's been great. Like, he does. It's really strange. Like, I don't know how, because like you look at him in normal scenarios, like he has no clue what to do with a vehicle. He has no clue what to do. Like he had no clue what to do with stairs, what a TV was. He was just so lost. But then when it comes to the basics, like don't jump, don't chew on things, don't pee inside, perfect. I mean, literally
awesome.
not one. He hasn't chewed one thing. It's amazing. And he's one. He's just still a pup.
Yeah. We have a German Shepherd we got as a rescue, and he's about, I guess he's going on 2 years old now, but we got him when he's about a year old. And man, he was so skittish. What's funny is when we got him, like he's really good. He's housebroken, all stuff, but somebody beat him really bad because like with the kids, he immediately attached to the kids. And for like the first 2 weeks we had him, like he would sleep with my son's bed. He was like nice to my son, but he wouldn't let me near my son for like a week. He was like so protective, which I loved. But now he's finally like, but it took him a little while, but he still gets skittish every now and then. Like if you go over to pet him, if men go over to pet him or do something, he cowers.
Aw. This guy's got some skittishness to him as well, and it's clear there's a few triggers for him. It's not any sect. Like there's nobody he's like cowering from, but like if you hold up his bowl at him, he's like, oh, like he doesn't know how to deal with it. It's really weird. So he's strange. He doesn't eat a lot right now either, so I think he's still a little stressed, but he's getting there.
Awesome.
What's up, Mr. Biggs?
Hey.
Get him some cookies.
I had to take him home last night, do surgery on his feet. He had bumblefoot, which is like a blister on their foot.
Aw.
And so he was not happy last night. He's got hits on his feet.
So Mike, he doesn't like, I tried to give him a pepperoni stick early, like he won't eat things. He just kind of licks it a little bit. He's like, I don't know.
You know what's funny? Our dogs don't like pepperoni. So I a lot of times I buy the treats from the Dollar Tree. They love the cowhide ones, the rawhide things.
Okay.
But I feel like the bacon strips because they love bacon and they love all those things. But it's also maybe because it's Dollar Tree that I keep buying the Dollar Tree steaks. But they love the Dollar Tree like little ones that have like the piece of meat wrapped around it. It's like the rawhide with the piece of. They love those, but I give them the bacon strips. I give them other things like that. And I'm like, we're good.
I like your New York subway sign there. I used to take the C line. Yeah.
My wife went to Sarah Lawrence, went to college, did her master's at Sarah Lawrence, and what do you call it? So that was in her. It was in the house, and then my daughter was using it, and then I was like, well, and then my daughter was like, I'm gonna donate to Goodwill. I'm like, no, I'll save it. It's a good piece of metal. Good sign.
I mean, yeah. If you ever decide to scrap it or something, let me know because I'd take it.
Yeah, if you want, I'll mail it to you. Yeah, text me your address. I'll mail it to you.
Are you serious? Oh man, my wife would be so stoked. We rode the A and the C line all the time.
Yeah, I guess you got it. Oh, that's so cool. Then that's perfect because that's even better. So yeah, definitely text me your address.
Okay.
Awesome. Then it really goes to somebody that that's really cool.
I will pay for all the shipping on it too.
It's super lightweight. I think it's just aluminum, but it's good quality. It's powder coated. It's powder coated.
It's a very famous graphic designer who did all the design work for that for the subway lines.
Oh,
really
that's
interesting.
fun. Yeah, I guess they have to because look, it says MTA licensed. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's actually powder coated. It's powder coated aluminum.
That's neat. Probably put it in the shop. Maybe out the back deck.
It's so cool. I was like, I'm not just donating it to Goodwill. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
We were starting to use the bit. So I got Gaston starting to. We have a new project we're doing. We're doing for the beer fest. We're doing some signs. We're going to do them out of that purple foam board or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna use those new bits you sent. I've got.
Oh, sweet, good.
So I was getting him to practice and start learning. It was funny. I told him just to go on YouTube and watch some videos so I can get used to the math stuff. And so I did the new firmware updates. This thing was still in like 106. So I have to go and everything else on this one because this was my mainstay. Like I just left everything stable. Yeah. But yeah, I've got the bits you sent, and so I'm all excited about starting to use those. So try it with the foam. What do you recommend for the foam?
Oh, definitely straight for the foam.
Okay.
That's the only thing. So if you're gonna do foam, I would just do your straight bits.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, low RPM.
Because that's what we did. I feel like we did the other stuff, but
Yeah.
it seemed to work well. So, and the nice thing is to be rough. So,
Yeah, for sure. We're almost done with our Halloween decoration. We're gonna get it all set up to like tomorrow, I think, for our home Halloween decor stuff. So I'm stoked for that. Dude, this laser, I'm not gonna lie, this laser has been so much fun. Like
they are
so accurate too.
You're using the JTech, right?
Yeah.
I've been really impressed with that JTech.
Right?
Honestly. It's because for a diode laser, sometimes I have so many diode lasers. I mean, I even have like over here buried in the corner, I have a little 5 watts somewhere on the floor. But what do you call it? But and I've had okay luck with some of them, but that JTech's been really good. I don't even know where the heck
Yeah,
it is.
it's really been tremendous. And I'm even thinking like, so we're working on a universal clamp mount that you can put any kind of pin or air assist or anything you want in it, right? That you could mount to your M2. And I think that like doing modules in that sense of like, hey, beginner mode is marker mode, and then intermediate mode is diode laser mode, right? Because there's no resistance in this thing, like all the trappings of milling, like skirting and stuff. It's like not a big deal for this, right? And then advanced mode would be like, oh, I'm actually going to get my router attached to this thing and go to town. Like
that's smart. Because honestly, the 3D printer market's hard. And so it's like, and I know there's other things you can do, like, and there's like the desktop mills, but there's so many desktop mills. Like I have the Shapos, and we have some of the 5300 series upstairs. They're like the $500 Amazon ones, and it's like. But this is unique in a sense because you could make this like a wall bot too, in the sense where if somebody wanted to do 4x8 panels, like just attach the markets. Because I have one of the wall bots over here. And
Yeah.
I did the Kickstarter. It's a mess though. That thing, it always jams on markers.
Oh, really? You've got one?
Yeah, it's it's the original one. But,
Okay.
I'm excited about the new. So I use the Facebook portal for everything, but the new Facebook portal is battery powered. The little 10 one.
Yeah.
And so they do a really good job for zooms. Like I have the camera locked out mode, but it does a really good job of following you too. But yeah, so the Scribbit.
Scribbit, yeah.
So it's okay, yeah, but I just get barcode jam all the time and everything else with it.
So are you going to use that again? Because if you're never going to use that again, I would buy that from you because we were literally talking about buying one.
They're cool. Yeah, I do use it. Like we use it for. So what I use it for is on the front. I just don't do color anymore. It's worth the $300. That is for sure.
Okay.
Let's see here. Because like here, let's see. Like when we have clients come in, like we had. What I did is I did the dry erase. I put the dry erase paint on this wall, and then because you can do the erase, I just use the dry erase markers. Oh, and if you get one, just get the regular washable the crayon washable markers, kids markers.
Okay.
But yeah, I just because those work better than their pens suck. Their pens that you buy, the new ones may be better, but you can't see them for crap. If you use the Crayola ones, they do really good.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've just been using it for I've been using it for that stuff. But I quit trying to do color because, like I said, every time I spin the markers jam and stuff, and I was like, yeah.
Really?
So, but it's also too just because. I have like one of the original 500 units that shipped.
Gotcha.
So I don't know how. And it's been a couple of years now. But
for the holidays, we used to have that jumpstart kit, and we've actually got like 140 units left of it. So I think for the holidays, we're going to do like a laser only module for like $10.99. So
that would be smart because honestly, there's the laser market. I have so many people that want lasers and want to play with lasers, and there's really like the Glowforge. My Glowforge is the house now because I use it for stuff at the house, but just playing around. But you can't do. There's just a lot you really can't do with the Glowforge, and really at the end of the day, you're a big Glowforge for 1/4 the price.
Yeah. I mean, we can't cut, but we can engrave, and that's what most people are doing is engraving something. So
you can cut with a JTech a little bit, but I would say but the thing is, most people are going to cut. It's not going to be wood. If they do like the little foam board, so what I use a lot of, This is perfect. If you mark, I need to do a video of this, and I keep forgetting to do that. So you know this little, I'm gonna find some of it. It's the foam board you buy for like school backer projects and all that. I usually have stacks of it around here. I go to Dollar Tree and buy it, and it's for the big sheets at Dollar Tree, and it cuts that JTech cuts that beautifully. So you can do all those projects.
The 2.8 does, or the 7 you had?
No, that 2.8 will cut through that stuff. It cuts through it in a heartbeat.
Really?
Are you talking about foam core?
Yeah.
Okay, with the paper backer on both sides.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Drew, that's what you're talking about, right? That like presentation foam core for schools and stuff.
This stuff
It's going down.
Yeah, these things. And it'd be perfect because for kids' projects, stuff like that, and for learning to put things like the puzzles, you know how you do the little cutout puzzles? This stuff's perfect.
I didn't know it. Okay, I'm gonna go get a piece now and try it out.
And if you buy it at like Office Depot stuff, it's like $6 a sheet. If you go to a Dollar Tree, it's $1. So I buy boxes. I use it all the time for our lasers because when I'm doing tests and all that, it's my favorite stuff to use. It's cheap, it's easy, and when I want to teach people how to use things, in fact, you want to do it really light because if you do it too strong, you'll burn it. But like so when I'm testing like organic hinges and stuff like that, like those are, like the one you were doing on the thing.
Yep.
So I found a pattern. I was Googling some patterns of them, playing with some different patterns.
Oh, look at those. That's so cool.
Yeah, I did. I don't want pattern cards. I found some cool pattern cards that you can do, and you can download the different pattern cards to test them.
Yeah.
It's
okay. I downloaded the exact same pattern.
Yes, it was really cool. I had fun putting those. But you can do it with these. Get a sheet of that and play with these with the mouse on. Because it'll do it perfectly. And I would do a video with this because that adds it for creators and schools and stuff like that because you can cut. And cardboard too. Because the other thing I love, like if you see my pile on the floor here, so most of my test stuff, and actually even all my prototype stuff is this, and then I use I say cardboard boxes. And I use cardboard boxes for a lot of times for practice too. And that's why, because most people, that's what they're going to cut anyways. And then if they screw it up, it's cheap. They can use old boxes. And you could do videos like the Glowforge instance where they're having fun doing kids projects. Because you could do those little puzzles, that you cut out the dinosaur and put them together. And this stuff's perfect for that. And it's the exact same thickness as the board you get. So all the designs where the little grooves are for the pieces to slide together are perfect. Because all those designs are perfect for this.
Oh man, okay. So if we can get that done, this is going to be an absolute monster for schools.
I think so too. I think it'd be amazing, and then it's quiet. You don't have to, and really, you're not going to generate that much smoke. So I think you could actually do a simple fume extractor because if you just get some of the carbon filters, and because I use, hang on, let me show you one thing. The laser.
Dustin, anything new going on your end?
Yeah. So here's like the little bitty, it's one of those little 5-watt, lasers. But what I use for a fume extractor, I just use my soldering fume extractor with a carbon filter. And so you can buy a pack of those carbon filters and put it on the end of your hose, and it does a good job of sucking all the smoke and everything out. Okay. And that's like $10, and because you're not using like 50-watt. And actually, hell, for some of the 40 watts, you can actually use those carbon filters.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's there. If they want to do it indoor, that's what I recommend. And you just buy those little 4-inch by 4-inch pads. Mm-hmm. You can buy a stack of them.
Okay.
And it does a great job of getting the smoke.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, Dustin, anything going on your end?
Not a whole lot right now. I've been cutting handles like crazy for the looms and stuff like that. So I've got a stand all done. So I'll be working on that some more. No, you guys were just talking about that laser, and it got me thinking about some of the old stuff I was looking at for when I was testing laser cutting. You doing wood bracelets and laser cutting the backside to allow it to flex like a living hinge, but not all the way through, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, I hadn't really thought about that. So you you'd still need more than 2.8 to get that job done. You probably need like a 5 or something.
Probably. This is 1/8 inch material that I've got.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. That's a good idea too. I never thought about like doing like little custom jewelry and stuff.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see if I can start my video. You guys see me?
Yep.
So I don't know if you can see that very well.
Whoa, yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So that, and then flipped it over and see, I just cut lines.
Yeah.
And then you can bend it. Now, it's not enough.
Yeah.
I've been in the process of practicing with that. So, you know, I did a couple of them. You can see I did that. You can see the different.
Cutting that on a Glowforge or a.
Let's see. It was an Epilogue and a Trotec. So the libraries here at in my area have maker spaces, and they've got those lasers, and I've been going there for the last 2 or 3 years using their laser cutters there.
Nice.
That's awesome. When I first got out of the Marine Corps, I couldn't find a job. I was like, didn't know what to do, and I went to get a plaque made for a friend. And I went to a laser engraving place, the only one we had in town at the time, and they're like, "Oh, all our lasers are down except for one. It's be like a 3-week waiting list." And so I was like, "I'll make y'all a deal. If you let me learn how to repair them and play with them, I'll do it for free, but you just can't sue me if I break them." And so I got certified in Colorado in Epilogue lasers back in 2002, 2003. And so it was funny, but I love Epilogues, man. They're cool.
Yeah, and they're expensive for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
The Thunder lasers, I like Thunder lasers, and the Orion's way better than, because now it's changed so much in the last 10 years, especially with Lightburn. Lightburn's just brought everything to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Lightburn. Yeah. It's amazing. It's so easy.
I don't know. Can you see that?
Cool. Yeah.
This is another one I did. This one actually cut all the way through. This is a bracelet out of acrylic.
Yeah.
And you can actually take these and take a heat gun to them. And if you cut a shape that's kind of in the shape of a wrist, you can just soften it up and it'll just fall around that shape. And then you can just let it cool off and it's a bracelet.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to play with that now because we got a Glowforge in the house.
What do you call it? Acrylic's like the one. So this is my beer can crusher. So I put a pneumatic piston here. But yeah, I take all our scrap acrylic, and so I just fold it. I bake it in the oven and then fold it. Or this one I got lazy, just torched it. You can see the burn marks. But yeah, that's one thing you with acrylic. It's so much fun because you can shape it so easily.
Yeah,
it's just so awesome.
Yeah, this is black acrylic. Trying to peel off the material, but that will keep you from having to see those burn marks. If you're thinking of working in clear, change to a solid color instead.
Yeah.
It came off a little bit, so you can see it there. But yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
The makerspace in the libraries here, they actually sell the material, and that's how I got started. I started with this 1/8 inch plywood, this Baltic birch, and they sold a 12 inch by 24 inch sheet for $5. So the library is making a lot of money when they're selling their material. They also sold the acrylic and stuff like that.
Do you have to use their material? Can you use your own?
Yeah, I quickly learned to go to Woodcraft and get a 5 foot by 5 foot sheet of the stuff and cut it down to the size I needed for the laser cutter.
If you really want, so one thing it's good to use, so the shower backer board, so I use this a lot. So like for doing that stuff like that, or like these things and everything, there's just that white shower backer board. You can buy 4x8 sheets of this for $11. And it's perfect for that at Home Depot or Lowe's. The other cool thing, so we have an acrylic shop over here, and I buy the scrap. And so they sell their scrap, and it's usually pieces that are like anywhere from 24 inches to like pieces of the scrap like this size. And projects we have, so they're pretty good size. I mean, they're fitting the backs you can do in a Glowforge. I buy this by the pound. So upstairs in the upstairs area, I probably have 700 pounds of acrylic at different colors and different sizes. I just go in. So if you find an acrylic shop, go ask them if they have a scrap area you can buy. And these got 10 cents a pound. And so a sheet like this, where it normally would be like $20 if I just had to specially cut. Now I've already cut pieces out of this one, but I bought this was like 25 cents for this piece.
Right.
And so, and then you'll have like all. So I would find, I need like some milk ones and stuff like that. But just make sure you pull out the Lexan. Don't put the Lexan in there. That stuff is a nightmare.
Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking about taking this stuff and actually flipping it over and cutting grooves out with the CNC so that you actually have the width of the bit and you cut it down to that last layer, and then that should allow it to warp and shape.
I was going to ask you
much better.
I've seen, so like Tim Sway did what he called it wacky wood, but same principle. He takes a V bit and then he just back and forth, and then that creates that V-shaped channel to close down, right? Whenever you need it. So yeah, I think that's really cool. I'd love to see, Dustin, if you were able to make like some neat, like a series of jewelry pieces that were cut on the M2, like it'd be amazing. People don't think it has that kind of like ability.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was to do something like this, it would need like a 32nd inch bit, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I was actually looking at this morning, and I know it's really hard to see because it's cut all the way through. But a 16th inch bit, you can do something like this. I think. I just don't. I have no idea how long it would take.
Terrence?
Hey, Patrick, good morning. I'm glad I was able to catch this Zoom call. I got my paper from my 3D printer. It says every Thursday you guys get together and help guys like me out. So I just wanted to get some assistance with the troubleshooting issue I'm having. Basically, when I am loading my 3D printer with filaments, it's not melting and coming out of the extruder. So I wanted to know if anybody on this platform has had issues like that, and what did they do to kind of fix that?
So this is the CNC call, but Drew here can probably help you. But it just depends on.
Yeah, I could help you out with that. Drew, you got your Drew on your side, Duh.
Well, no, I was talking about you too.
Okay.
Either Drew will work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so can you show us your printer?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Let me just make some hardware adjustments.
Is the extruder itself heating up?
So yeah, the 3D printer, it heats up, no problem.
And when you fill the tip, when you fill the extruder tip, when you go to load filament, you fill the extruder tip. Is it hot?
Yeah. So I go through the tutorial basically. As you can see, it's getting started right now. I don't know if you guys can see the printer, right?
You need to set. I think you need to set your
camera settings.
Yeah,
let me do that. Be quick.
Let's see. Go ahead, MakerMade real quick. I'll run in real quick. But I think what's happening is you're just jamming. You may also have a little ball in there. So I would try manually pushing it. If you're pushing it and it's going all the way down the tubing and getting to the extruder, but then not coming out, you probably have a knot in there. There's a way to extract that. And there's a little YouTube video that will walk you through that. That's common with all 3D printers. That's pretty much common with all 3D printers.
Terrence, on your for your settings, if you click, you got that little stop video button in the bottom left corner. If you click the up arrow and click video settings.
Okay.
Then there'll be a button there that says background and filters.
Okay, boom, I see it, and then go none. Okay.
There you go. All right, now we can see. Yep.
Awesome. Good. So there we are. I don't know if you can see it now. Hopefully you can.
Yep, you can see it.
Okay, so on the touchpad, I go menu, and then I go tutorials, and I go load filament, and I hit start, and then I hit preheat. And it's going to preheat to 220 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then once I do that, I believe the next steps would be just to load the filament. And I have the standard filament that was sent in with the printer. But the issue that I'm having is that when I load it through the tube nozzle that connected to the extruder here, it's not going past a certain point. So I'll kind of show you what I mean once it's done. So
when you push it in here and then you push it through, and you can see So you're squeezing this little, you're squeezing, let me see if I can get my.
Yeah,
camera.
that lever to feed the
So,
filament. Correct.
Yeah. Let me go from this side so I can see better.
The tip, it might clip.
Make
at
sure
an
you
angle.
put it at a nice angle.
Yeah. Clip
Like
the,
a 90-degree angle, correct?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can grab if the other Drew here is available too. But
Yeah.
Yep, sure thing.
So when you pinch that and push it in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you feel it, sometimes you have to kind of get it to go into that little tube area. You have to kind of turn it until you get to go in there, and then
Yes.
you get it and start feeling it go all the way down. You push it all the way down to that nozzle.
Yes, exactly. So when it gets to the base point, where that nozzle piece is, it's not going past that. There's like a ring socket that
Yeah.
that's
So
right
you
there.
may pull that. So just to see some. So what happens is sometimes that gets jammed down there. So sometimes what will happen in this end. And so what you'll do is you'll heat it. You'll push that in there, and there's a way you'll pull it out to kind of pull the little jam out. And so what I'll do is I'll get it preheated, and I'm not gonna do it now. And I'll pull that little jam out. And
Hey, how's it going?
he's got a clogged extruder. He's got the little
Yeah.
knot.
So, did it happen while you're printing? Did it clog up?
Yeah, I was doing one of the example print designs on the USB drive that comes with the printer. I think it was like the Dragon one, and I just let it run just to see how it would naturally produce, and it didn't really produce much, so that gave me the impression that the extruder was jammed. So
if it's the first thing you did, the filament might not be pushed all the way to the end of the nozzle where it's hot. So it might not be all the way through there. So it might not, especially if it's because it's not jammed when it arrived. So
yeah,
if you want to reload it, like you can do the load filament that you're doing right now, and then load filament in until you see the filament coming out the end of the nozzle, and then it'll be heated and you'll see the filament kind of feed through there.
okay, understood.
And then when you see the filament feeding through and coming out the end of the nozzle, that means it's melted and it's all the way through. And then you can try your print again. So that'd be my guess. If that was the first thing that you did, then it's probably just the initial like setup of it. Yeah, and then keep pushing it all the way until it stops.
Okay, it stopped now.
Okay. And then you can, on the screen there, you can hit load filament and it'll feed it through. And it'll crank the gear and it'll pull it through. Is it pulling it in?
The gear's pulling through, but
Awesome.
I think like the other gentleman was saying, there is like the filament isn't actually feeding. The gears are turning, but the filament isn't feeding. So I think that means that on this part here, it's kind of jammed. So I'm not sure. He said there was
have you tried pushing it by hand? Squeeze that knob and just keep trying to push it pretty hard by hand.
Yeah.
But wait till it's at 220 degrees. Wait till it's heated.
Oh, it's heated.
Yeah.
It's right. It's rocking and rolling. But every time I push it, it's still like
I
not.
feel like it's getting stuck on something. Can you pull it all the way out? Pull it all the way out. And then look at the end of it. And does the end look melted at all?
No, it doesn't. So
Okay.
yeah, to your point,
So-
maybe getting stuck on something.
Let's put the end into a sharp point. So like a 45-degree angle.
Okay,
And that can
one
help.
moment. Let me get my tool here. Set this bad boy. You said 45 degrees?
Yeah, like a 45-degree angle.
Okay, boom. There we go.
And that'll make it easier to feed all the way through.
Sure thing.
You can squeeze that and then push it all the way through, all the way. And then as Drew said, yeah, you can push it a little bit more if it stops. And then that should get you right to the very end.
Okay, yeah, it's stopping, pushing through.
Twist it a little bit. Try and turn it too. When you're doing that, and when you push it up against there, and while you have it pushed tight, kind of turn a little bit to try to get past that catch point.
Gotcha.
And then look and see if there's any filament coming out the end of the nozzle. Do you see anything?
Okay, I see some filament coming out, but I don't want to push it too much because it seems like this part is the filament will break off from the main source.
Let's do this then. You can hit the X in that on the screen there, and then go to Control. Yeah, say exit. And then go back, go to controls, and then tap where it says PLA. We're pre PLA, and tap that. There you go. And then what is the temperature currently at right now?
220 Celsius.
Okay, great. So then now move that to on across the top where it's got the different millimeters and 5 millimeter and 20 millimeter. Yeah. Go ahead and go to 20 millimeter. And then tap the forward arrow on the E.
Forward arrow on E.
Yeah, and that's the E motor.
Okay.
And then now you can kind of put your finger on the end of the filament, kind of like hold it like this, and you should feel the filament kind of pulling in to the printer.
Okay.
Do you feel it pulling in?
No,
I hit
I'm
it
not
again.
feeling.
It probably finished because 20 millimeters is like less than an inch. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, still no dice. Let me take this all the way out because I don't want it to break and get stuck.
Yeah. And then you want to make sure that you're not depressing the lever while the gears are turning, because the lever and the spring hold the filament together to feed it through.
Okay, so don't put pressure on the lever to keep it open. So just close it,
correct.
Basically. Gotcha.
Yeah, because like it looked like you might have been holding that open while it was spinning, and then the gears, they won't engage.
Okay, understood. Let me try this again. So initially open it up, select the filament. I'm gonna hit forward on E, close the gears.
Do you feel it pulling in now?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's do that several times, and then that should get it to the end.
Okay.
And you should see eventually, you'll see it coming out at the end. So yeah, just tap it again. Because the best way to get rid of something that might be in there is to actually push it out through the hot end.
Got you.
Yeah, taking it apart is like the last thing that you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I figured I had to miss it. I couldn't miss the Zoom call.
Yeah, and we do them at 9 too today on Thursdays. So
Central time, correct? Because I'm in California.
Yeah, you actually did miss it. But you caught the CNC
I know.
one.
Well, good thing I got some good Samaritans that lingered on. Okay, yeah, I think the troubleshooting issue is fixed.
Do you see it coming out when you tap it? Do you see it coming out the nozzle?
Yep, I'm seeing filament come out. So I think this is just a process that I'll have to repeat until it's fully cleared out. Correct?
Is the filament white? Is it the same color?
Yep, white filament.
Cool.
No, you're good. Yeah. It's not burning, so you don't have old. If it's jammed, you'll start to see old filament come out a little brown, where it's like burned.
And you can always message our support too, and I can help you out on there too. So
okay,
and get you
sounds good, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
your time, guys.
Yeah, 3D printing. Just remember, 3D printing kits. It's a learning process, but once you get it down, it's awesome. And once you get all these, there'll be a bunch of little things, but it's a blast once you get past it all.
And we're here to help you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get started and get creating. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions or anything before we go?
And Terrence, don't forget to send us a message to support@makermade.com. Oh, I think he hung up.
Yeah.
All right.
And Drew,
he's like, my problem's fixed. I'm out.
Yeah.
Y'all got to figure out different times.
I'm glad we got them fixed. I'm glad we got them going.
Yep.
9 a.m. is too early for the 3D printing.
Well, it's for schools and stuff. It's not 9 a.m. So yeah, I know.
You just need to pound that monster sooner.
Yeah, I know. It's not too early for you to join. So
I have to get up early for the kids usually, but then I crash for a little while.
Yeah.
All
right, guys.
I got a quick question about the screws on the clamp on the M2.
Okay.
I guess I was over tightening them a little too much, and I was rounding one out. I sent a ticket in to see if I could get some replacements. You guys sent them out. That was awesome. But this time the screws are black instead of the silver ones. And I was curious, do they use different threads between the black version of that clamp and the silver version?
No, use the same ones. You got the black ones because those are they're slightly longer to accommodate the JTech. The laser doesn't fit with the length of screws that we had that come with it stock. We have to send those in the bag. So you got the black ones that are the only replacement versions that we have. So
will that cause any problem setting up for the router? No. Okay.
Not at all.
Cool.
No, it's the exact same screw.
All right. Before I put them in and cross thread anything, I was like, I'm gonna ask.
Right.
That's at least the nice thing with metric is it's a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about too much about thick or thin thread style.
Yeah, for sure. Now you're gold. Now, but we've already tested to make sure that they fit without the they're in there as well. So yeah. One other thing, guys, that I've got on my end before the last thing I've got on mine is October 6th. I'm going to be hosting a business summit for the community. So it's going to be all about, like we talked about, just how to make money using your M2 or on the marketplace. We're going to have guest presenters talking about how to get set up on Etsy, tips and tricks. We're going to have somebody coming in and talking about how to partner with MakerMade on product development. So we're going to just talk all the different ways you can make money if you want to using your M2 or with MakerMade. So I'll send out some more information here, but it is now set for October 6th. So coming up.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Is that going to be during the day or in the evening?
Probably in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah. So Drew?
That would be really cool. I'm gonna say one other thing too. I'm gonna mail you that sign today, but I'm also gonna mail you this stuff. I'm gonna do it's double-sided color ABS. And so what it is you have a top layer that's like gold or silver, but when you engrave it or you etch it, which will be perfect for the JTech laser, the back it'll come out black. So you'll have like a gold, so you can have two colors. And so I buy packs of this stuff. It'll be perfect for y'all's ads. And so I'll see some of the shit you buy on Amazon. I'm gonna etch one real quick while we're talking.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it.
I was actually looking into something like that for the CNC with the multicolor plywood. Have you guys seen that stuff?
Yep.
I have.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Do a search online for multicolor plywood. They've got like rainbow colors in plywood now. So
yeah, that stuff's really cool. And this stuff is just ABS double layer. It's what you use when you see like nameplates and stuff at commercial buildings and all that. That's what they use for those. And they usually engrave them. So you can mill it or you can laser engrave it, either or.
And that's kind of like the aluminum, what is that? That aluminum board that I think Mike Garza was routing. You got that aluminum top with the black core in the middle.
Yes, I have some sheets of that somewhere around here too.
That stuff looks amazing when it's all done. I used to work with that with one of my previous jobs with a router, and it looks outstanding for time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I usually buy for the aluminum when I need aluminum sheet, because it's actually cheaper to buy that anodized aluminum sometimes than it is just to buy the regular aluminum, which is kind of cool.
And you actually get that on Dripple.
Another thing to think of that you might do for ads, this may be something cool for y'all too, because all the people out there that make speakers, do the card mods, make their custom speaker box and stuff for their cards. So like in our warehouse, I don't know if it's hard you can see or not, but at the top, so I put speaker systems as big, the orange speakers up high. So we have speakers throughout our warehouses and outside. And what we did is we did the speaker boxes on the M2.
Oh, cool.
And so it's something that'd be kind of cool that you can show people like, hey, you can also make speaker boxes. I think there's all those auto guys and all stuff like that would love to do that would love to be able, they could do really nice custom speaker boxes.
Yeah. Speaker boxes would be like, I used to be really big into, like car audio. So
I think that's a huge market for y'all. Yeah. I think that could be a huge market for y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they buy vinyl covers, they buy everything else. So it seems like that would be something they'd be like, hey.
Yep. Cool. Anything else y'all want to go through today?
I was gonna show you this real quick, and then if anybody else has questions, let me do this real quick.
Here.
Yeah, I'm just. Is anybody else on?
You what?
I'm trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laser make this real quick. You 200 hour 30.
Moved. It just didn't seem to do much.
Yeah. I was just making sure I frame it right and then.
Oh, gotcha.
My specs for this stuff. Let's see if I can zoom in enough so you can see it. This stuff's really cool because you can do that 2-layer. And this would, like I said, this stuff is perfect for the JTech. And they have it. You can have it metallic. You can have it so it looks like you're doing metal. But
And how big are the sheets?
you can buy 4x8s of it if you go to Plastic Supply. I just buy these off of Amazon. I buy the box off of Amazon. And it comes with the whole multicolor kit. And then sometimes I'll buy specific sheets for things. I'll buy 2x4 foot sheets for certain things.
What are those things called?
It's called double sided what do you call it? ABS.
Yeah.
Double layer, 2-layer ABS, whatever.
Yeah, I believe they have some of those on Grimco as well.
Yeah, it's what they use for
Have you ever
science.
ordered anything from Grimco?
On where?
Grimco? Grimco.com?
No.
Have you heard of Grimco? I'm surprised you haven't heard of Grimco. Man, they've been around for a long time.
That's interesting.
For sign making, they have a lot in Texas. They have a lot of places in Texas. Actually, all over the United States.
That's cool. We really do signs. It's interesting. Like this one we're doing for the beer fest, and I'm gonna do I'm trying to do my HOA spent $17,000 on getting new entryway signs into our. We have 2 entries into our neighborhood, and they paid a contractor $17,000 up front to redo the signs, and they're just like wood signs, like you could do with them too, in a heartbeat. And they were 4 foot by 8 foot, and the contractor took off with the money. It disappeared.
Oh my
And
God.
so I know, I'm like, oh my God. So I looked up the permits to do the signs. It was like $250. I'm like, look, for $10,000, I'll do the signs. It's just cost me.
Yeah, seriously, and it's gonna you're gonna be wasting less than $500, maybe $1,000 at the most in material.
Oh, if that.
If that.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe they paid $17,000 to do a sign. I'm like, what? And the guy was just going to hand route the letters or whatever, and then just glue them to a board. I'm like, this is insane.
That's nuts. You see that one that Scotty B made, that pancake house one?
Yeah, that's cool. There's so many cool things.
He does some amazing stuff.
He does.
I'm gonna try and get him to give us a little presentation for that business summit too.
Yeah, he gives you a little bit of info, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of I had asked him in the beginning, and he was kind of like, he told me a little bit, but
he was supposed to be recording everything for us. He's like, oh yeah, I'll just record everything and then share it.
It sounds like he doesn't want to give out his secret sauce.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
There's just some people like that, Patrick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's one that I did. This one's the one I did with that stuff. So it's that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'll send you a sheet of it. This one's just the white on the black, but it looks really nice. It's a deep groove, so it feels nice and everything else too. And so
great.
But yeah, it looks better with like the gold, and then you can do white too and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But that furniture ad you'll have, that Facebook ad with the furniture where they're cutting out the chair.
Yeah.
That one's cool. I'm telling you, I think you did one, but like that one, but did one like where that's like a car audio guy doing speaker boxes. That one, you know what I mean?
Man, there's so many different groups like that. We actually just spent a long time just talking through who those groups are, because you're right. Like they're all looking for ways to make something big on a budget. Right.
And that would be perfect because they can't afford shop pots, stuff like that. And I don't think most of those even realize that would open up, and that's you'd be getting, that'd be like a 18 to like 30-year-old market. You know what I mean? I'm too old for that now, but
yeah, same.
But my kid's like, you always listen to AM radio. I'm like, I know, I'm getting old.
That's the true side.
Yeah. But what do you call it? Yeah, it's it seems like that'd be such a huge market.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, and we're working on this mini frame here right now, Drew.
Oh, cool.
Like, we're gonna get it going. We got a pretty big plan for it. I think what we're actually gonna end up doing, guys, is moving everybody just by default to 15-foot chains. And then we're gonna have a new calibration process where we'll mark like this is the hanging point and this is the carriage bolt point for your chains for a XL frame or a standard frame or a mini frame, right? And so calibration is more just about hanging the chains in the right location and then bingo.
Well, your cost for those chains isn't going to be much more. It's going to be like probably a dollar or two more, right?
It's not bad, and we make it up just in not having
support
less
issues.
customer support, right? Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I say. Like even if you're losing like $2 a piece on that, it's a way to make it up in customer support when people are getting those edge issues.
Yeah, exactly. It'll allow us to get more accurate on the standard frame too. We'll elevate the top beam a little bit. We'll have the length to elevate the top beam, so it'll be good. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
That's
really cool on that small frame.
I like your business expo thing because I think that is key, and I think those are, if you pick a couple key markets like signage, I think signage, furniture, but I think in some of the ones people don't think about. But I think too that lasers going to open it all up, and doing what you're talking about, doing modules for it, like being able to do pins and stuff like that, being able to put Sharpie in there, mount Sharpie in there.
That's the thing, man. I want people to get real creative with it. I want them to be able to like attach a paintbrush to it and drag that thing around, right? Anything you want, it should be like a big canvas for you going forward, like a 21st century canvas, right? Or easel.
Are you going to offer a drag knife too?
That's what I was about to ask. A drag knife.
Yes, we are looking at drag knives.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I actually have a bunch of drag knives I bought I have a big vinyl cutter over here, and I was playing with some different drag knives, the wheel ones, and then just the V-cut drag knife. I bought some different ones. I was playing with attachments for. Let's see if I have that pack over here. I have my printing office here.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a drag knife for my Onefinity, but I haven't even used it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'd love to hear how that works for you, Mike.
What about those rollers that they use to crush corrugated cardboard, so you can get the folds? You can actually cut out your own custom boxes.
A roller die?
Yeah, the perforation roller dies. Yeah, I have one for this thing, so you can do like.
How would you do that?
So this is the best. Seem to be the best drag cut knives I get, are the ones that are like a. I can't get a good zoom on it.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. It's basically the same as the Cricut has.
It's a little bit, it's like that, but this one's like it's a because there's the round ones too. I have a pack of like round ones that have a roll like a wheel blade. And then there's some other, but this blade, of all the blades I've used, because I have the Cricuts too. I have a couple Cricuts, but this blade works really well. And it's hard I have to see a picture of it, but
yeah, I'd love to just get a link of it because we're actually trying to find the right kind of drag knives for this.
Yeah. And that, because I've done a lot of vinyl cutting, and that seems to work best.
Okay, so in a previous job, I worked at a large format little printer where we had like 8-foot wide inkjet printers. We'd print banners and stuff, for marathons and other things. We also had Zund CNC machines, cutting machines. Have you ever heard of those? They are Swiss made. Okay. If you type in Zund.com, ZUND.com, and go there, you can look at all the different modules they've got. The creasing tool type 1, or actually any of the creasing tools, is what I was thinking of for when you're cutting out corrugated cardboard. If you had some sort of system that allowed the user to take tools like this, like a drag knife or these creasing tools, you could really speed things up, because you could take a 4x8 sheet of cardboard and you can cut out custom boxes really fast.
Yeah, you really could. That's something I personally really want to try.
If you want to do that, the laser module actually works better than the drag knives. If you're cutting cardboard, using that JTech laser module, so I scrap lots of cardboard, and I use the lasers for cutting the cardboard, because then you can also control depth. So by controlling power, so with drag knives, the problem you have to have is you have to make sure pressure's right and they dull fast. And so if you're doing a lot of cuts, you're going to be replacing those blades pretty often. If you get the laser module, if you're wanting to do cutting like that, because like a lot of times I'll just do custom boxes for shipping and stuff like that. And the laser module with the M2 is actually perfect for that. And then you can set like a 10% power. So if you want to do perforation, so where it doesn't fold, you know what I mean? So you can do the perforation for the fold here, where it's a fold without breaking. So you can actually do that perfect. You just do a dashed line there, and that creates a perfect drag or like perfect fold. And then you can also do the cut. So you can actually do the laser's way better for that than drag knives.
Basically, you're doing your own perforated line.
Yeah, and I do that a lot because there's things where I need to make special. That's why I save all my cardboard, and the JTech laser module is beautiful for that.
Interesting. Okay.
And then the nice thing too is you can put big pieces of cardboard up.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can't do it. In fact, the laser module's been better for that for me because when I need to make bigger boxes, I have to pass through on that, but I can only on my big lasers, but I can do. It's a pain. I have to pass through and do part, so I can do 3 feet by 3 by 4 at a time, but I can't do bigger than that. Whereas this, I can do a 4 by 8, so I can laser etch the cardboard, and cardboard it cuts through without a problem. And you don't have to worry about pressures to set those depths and stuff like that. So if you want to just do a quick pass to do a score, you can score or cut, which is nice. And you don't have to worry about blades getting low.
Yeah, and pressure might be a problem with the sled. You've got a good point to that.
Well, you can do it because you can just use the Z-axis to control it because they have a spring in those cutting knives. So they do actually have a little spring in them. So you're going to have a little bit of give. So you just have to do like 1/10 of a millimeter steps. So you might have to say for certain things, if it's not cutting all the way through, because it's hard. With vinyl, you'll definitely have to use a drag knife because if you're cutting vinyl, because you don't want to accidentally cut through and cut the backer. You don't want to cut all the way through because you want to be able to peel off, leave it on that backer and do the transfer film. But so a laser's not good for that because it's hard to get it focused enough where it's not going to
laser vinyl.
Oh, you can.
You can, or you're just not going to be alive to see the end of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the inside of this machine, you'll see it's all black inside because this whole machine went up in flames. And so that's how I actually got it when my friends gave it to me because they caught it on fire and they weren't next to it and the air assist went out. And the whole thing, by the time they came back over, was completely in flames.
It's bonkers.
So how did that 2-color ABS turn out? Is it easy to clean up?
Yes, and so actually you can do mass. So I have around here, usually what you'll see tons of is the blue painter's tape. I have rolls of blue painter's tape, but I found for this stuff, the best way to mask that makes it easy, because the blue painter's tape you still have to peel sometimes. But
dude, I love Drew. He always has all these ideas.
So many ideas.
Yes.
Just you can see him in action all around his workshop too.
Yes, and starting with Mr. Biggs.
Starting with Mr. Biggs, right?
This is good. He usually likes to be on Zoom call. Vaseline. So I buy a lot of Vaseline because if you wipe the Vaseline in here,
you were talking about this last week too, or the week before.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we bought. He took it down, but yeah, we bought him a giant.
Hold that up to the camera. Let me see it, Drew. I can't see it.
Oh yeah. So I didn't mask that one. So
oh, neat though. That's so cool.
And if you do the white will actually come out white. So if you do it black on white, which I could do that real quick. Let me do a different color on white so you can see.
Go ahead, Dustin. What are you
saying?
saying?
I was just going to ask if a little bit of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, would clean that off.
Oh yeah, it's a good question. I'd be curious.
Yeah, it does. So I use it. That's the other thing we have tons of around here is alcohol.
Yep.
So you'll see bottles of rubber. Dollar Tree has become my new, in the last year has become my, because they sell everything. They literally keep stacks of, let me do this one. This is green on white. Let me grab it. Let's take 2 seconds.
Bye, Drew. I got to bounce here pretty quick. I'll wait for him to come back. I assume he's coming back.
Yeah, there it is.
With high detail, weaving these things is a pain in the ass with painter's tape. So if you're doing high detail with the ABS, the Vaseline works really well. But because this is a dark on white, so you can see where the laser burns. It actually still stays white where the laser burns.
The soot doesn't build up on it.
Nah, it's not bad.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna leave y'all to it. I'm gonna bounce. Got to get ready for a meeting upcoming, but yeah.
Text me your address. Text me your address here in a few, and I'll get that.
Yeah, I've got it in the chat here, but I'll shoot it over to you.
Yeah, we text it to me because I'm on my Facebook portal, so I don't have a way to get that right on there. Yeah. But and I'm gonna go mail Drew's stuff here in a bit, and I'll mail that one too for you.
You can just throw it. Yeah. What's your number again? I know I've got it. I just want to make sure.
830. 433. 1851.
1851.
Yeah, I don't think I have you as a contact yet, so I have to look up the number.
Same.
I'm bad about keeping all my contacts.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Catch y'all next week.
All right.
Later.
This is almost done. I'll show you how this looks here in a second.
Okay.
And I need to do it on the Maslow. I have to reboot that computer here a bit, but
So how often do you use your M2?
quite a bit. We use a lot. The last couple of weeks, I've been moving the warehouses around, and so I've been down. So and I just upgraded. But we have 3 of them. So, and one now is dedicated as a laser. So I have this one here dedicated as a laser, and then my other warehouse, those 2 are the dedicated for wood and stuff.
Okay.
But it's so like these lasers are great. Like this is a 150 watt laser. There's a huge tube in there. And I've got a massive chiller. They've got a massive chiller in here. That system popping out over there. I don't know if you see what chillers, but but what do you call it? So it's sometimes it's for quick, simple things, but like instead of the box stuff, like for this thing, I'm gonna mail Patrick. I'm gonna have to make a custom box. The only way I'm gonna be able to make that custom box is on the Mazda, or I can hand sit there and cut it with my hand. But it's just so much faster just to throw a quick, because there's quick box making utilities online. So I just do that, download it as an SVG, and throw it in there, and then have it laser etch it real quick.
Well, yeah. At one of my previous jobs, we did a lot of, well, the one I did the large format printing stuff. We did all of our custom boxes because we do all sorts of stuff. We did this giant 6-foot tall brown bag for Hula Hands, the restaurant chain. They did a lunch promo called lunch quickies or something like that, and they had these brown bags in their lobbies and stuff. So we had to cut them. We had to design a box that would go around these things. We'd fold up the brown bag, and then we'd make a box around it. So we were constantly doing custom boxes for like 50, 60, 100 of them at a time. So we design a box, and then we would just cut them all out really, really fast.
That is so cool. Yeah. We have most of the stuff I did. I spent a lot of years as CTO of different like tech companies and running R&D divisions. So the scooters you see all over the street with Bird and Lime and so I was CTO of Blue Duck, and so I've just had over the years. I've just had my own personal R&D labs I've set up, and I finally just my wife talked me into getting a building, so turn it into, because I had to get rid of all the storage units,
right?
And so it's been a hobby that at least pays for itself, kind of. It's very stressful time.
You're pretty brave there, putting your hand out there.
Oh, what's crazy is if you put your hand right to the laser, even at full power on it won't burn you. I mean, if you held your hand there, it burn you, but you go fast. Not
focused enough. Yeah.
It's focused enough. You put a piece of it'll cut through a piece of wood almost instantly, but you got it's just I guess I got used to them, but yeah. So even in the dark, it comes out good.
Yeah.
I didn't focus that one very well, so it got a little burn in there, but
it's a good example. Looks good.
Yeah. So it's fun, but yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna try to get some of these other jobs out. But
Yep.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Thanks for sharing.
Yep. Are you still on, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
All right.
See you
I'll
guys.
get with you. I'll text you later, Mike, because I'll get with you and get down there and bring these cards and stuff to you.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, cool, man.
Yeah, I've been waiting for your text for the last 3 weeks.
I know. I've been trying to keep up on things. That's why today I was like, okay, I gotta get these things done because I literally have been a one-man show.
I feel you. All right, guys. Talk to y'all later.
All right. Talk to you
Bye.
later.